All right, so this is our little video on completing the Pedigree Lab, Magic or Muggle. Okay, so if you haven't already, go ahead, go into our classroom. It's under Unit 5, Pedigree Lab, Magic or Muggle, and yours is up here on the right when you press View Assignment. All right, so let's go ahead and look at it. So I'm going to help you complete the first few pages until you get to the actual pedigrees, okay? So there's a little explanation up here about a pedigree, what it is, and then down here in this first thing, you're going to determine the relationships, not their genotypes, but the relationships, such as 1 and 5 are mother and son, okay? And if we look here, 1 and 10, okay, this would be a girl, and they have parents, and then these are their parents. So this would be grandma and granddaughter, okay? So you can go ahead and click in here. If it's not set to 8, go ahead and set it. You need it smaller. But grandma and, as soon as my computer decides, oops, I'm not even sure I spelled that right. Grandma and granddaughter. Okay? And if you need to make the box a little bigger, you can. Okay? All right, then we're going to look at 3 and 5. And notice they're in the same generation, okay? And 3 here is married to 4, but 5, okay, here, it came from the original couple. So this is a son, and this is number 5's sister, and it's the sister's husband there. And so these would be brother-in-laws, okay? And then how about 8 and 10? So 8 and 10, these would be the kids. So these would be like, if you think about it, your parents, okay, and your aunt and uncle's parents. And so 8 and 10 would be cousins, okay? And then 1 and 2, we have 1 and 2, and of course they are married. So husband and wife. 4 and 5. 4 and 5 would be siblings because their parents are 1 and 2. Okay. And then 5 and 8. 5, okay, and 8, that would be an uncle and a nephew. Okay. And then 1 and 3, that would be mother-in-law and son-in-law, okay? So mother-in-law and son-in-law, okay? All right, so those are relationships as you're going through a pedigree. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the magical world of Harry Potter, which, by the way, I absolutely love. So let's look at this, okay? So when we're looking at this key, we're going to have a female muggle, which means no magical power, is going to be completely open. So it's an unaffected female. An affected female is a female witch. They have magical powers. And our heterozygous on these are actually going to be half and half. So this would be what we would consider like that carrier, okay? Which means they have no magical powers, but they could have a child that does. And the same for the males, okay? So I'm going to help you through this one so that you guys understand kind of who these people are and what they would be here. So Mr. Weasley and Mrs. Weasley are a wizard and a witch. So you can see a wizard and witch are affected. So remember, our affected people, and we're going to use the letter M here for magic, would be lowercase m, lowercase m. Now Mrs. Weasley is also affected. She is a witch, so she is lowercase m, lowercase m. So I want you to understand that all their children would be, there's only one choice here because Dad can only give a lowercase m and Mom can only give a lowercase m. So it's m, m. Okay. Then what I want you to do is I want you to create a pedigree. So go ahead, draw it on a piece of paper, and then I want you to insert that picture onto slide 3 here as soon as it gets here at the top. And how do you do that? Well, if you've taken that picture with your phone, I want you to go ahead and upload that picture to your Google Drive of your student account. Once you do that, Then you can come back in here into your slides, and you're going to say Insert, Image, and you're going to choose Drive. And please make sure that you're logged into your student account. And then once you click Drive, hopefully that is there, you're going to go ahead. It should be in your recent. Okay, and then you will insert that picture and size it to the box. Okay, all right, of course. Okay, and then what you're going to do, okay, if you're really good at making things here digitally, you can also use these shapes here. You have squares and circles to make your pedigree, and here's the one for lines. And then when you make your shape, if you need it, the hard part will be the half shading. So that's why I say usually, probably most likely, the easiest thing to do would be, to do it on paper, insert picture, okay? All right, so that is the Weasley family. Number 4 is you're going to talk about Hermione, and Hermione is a girl. And she is an actually witch. She has magical powers. So her genotype is lowercase m, lowercase m. But her mom and dad do not. So Hermione is a witch, but her parents are both Muggles. And remember when we talked about for her to get 2 little m's, then mom and dad both have to have a little m to choose from. Okay? So they both must have one. The difference is, though, that they do not have magical powers. For them to not have magical powers, but yet have a little m, means they have to be heterozygous. So they are uppercase M, lowercase m. So then what you'll do is now that you have these genotypes, you're going to go ahead and you're going to make sure that on both of them, I forgot here, also, write the names and genotypes below each of the circles across. So tell me who they are. I forgot to tell you on this one. Bill, Charlie, Percy, Fred, George, and Ron, those are all boys. Ginny is the only one that's a girl here for the Weasley family. And then you have Hermione, who's a girl. You have mom and dad. So you're going to make her pedigree on paper. And then you're going to insert that also onto slide 3, and that's just below where you had the Weasley family, the same way I showed you before. Okay. Then you're going to have one more pedigree you're going to have to do, which is Harry Potter's. Okay. And so Harry Potter's, and make sure you're writing the name and the genotypes for everybody on your pedigree. Its story is here. Okay. So I'm going to let you read through this and try to figure out how to make this here. Now, remember, Harry is a wizard. His father, James, was a wizard, and his mother, Lily. So you got Harry, and both of them are wizards. Both of Harry's dad's parents, okay, had magical abilities. Now, notice you don't have any names there. So you won't have any names there. You'll just have genotypes for Harry's grandparents. However, Harry's mother's parents did not, nor does her sister, Harry's Aunt Petunia. So Harry's mother had a sister, Petunia, and their parents did not have powers. Petunia is married to Vernon Dursley, and they have a son, Dudley, who is Harry's cousin. None of the Dursleys have magical powers. So his Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon and Dudley do not have powers. Use shading to indicate genotype. Also write the names and genotypes below each of the circles or squares. For those who only one allele is known, write the known allele, so if they just have a lowercase a, and a question mark. And for me, you can just put a question mark if you want. Complete the pedigree on the back of this paper. You were actually completed on paper, and then you're going to insert that picture of the pedigree on slide 4. Okay? If you guys need help or have any questions, please let me know.